Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to understand what is CPU scheduling in operating system. So let's see. Now here you can see we have the hard disk, we have the main memory, and we have the CPU. So as you know, the hard disk contains many programs and they are like any executable, any C program, they can be any files or folders. Now when we double click any of these programs which are present on our secondary storage or let's say on the hard disk, the OS or you can say the loader which is present inside the OS, that loader actually loads that particular program inside your main memory. So this is the process, okay? And now this is the PCB of that particular process, right? So that program has been turned into the process. Now we have already discussed what does PCB contain and what does P1, that is the process, contain. So PCB contain all the information or the metadata of that particular process like PID, CPU related information like registers and all, okay? So here we are considering the system which can contain only one process inside your main memory, okay? Only one process is there. Now this process wants the CPU so that it can execute. So OS will start the execution, that is it will set the program counter inside your CPU, and then this CPU will start executing the instructions of this process, right? Now after some time, let's say this process P1 was executing on the CPU, it wants some input output device. Let's say inside this P1 process there is some in instruction, like in assembly this in means something like scanf, as we are having inside our C language. So scanf asks the data or the input data from the keyboard, okay? So now this process wants the IO device, that is keyboard, right? Now it will wait so that keyboard can give the data to that process. Now in the meantime this CPU is idle, okay, and there is no another process inside the main memory which OS can like start and give it to the CPU. So there is no process, so this CPU will remain idle till the time the P1 does not get any data from the keyboard and it start executing further, right? Now let's say after some time P1 executes it's completely and then P1 is removed from the main memory, right? Now after some time, let's say some another process, let's say P2 comes from this hard disk and loaded into the main memory. Now P2 will start executing on this CPU, and when it's need the any IO device, then it uses the IO device, but in the meantime this CPU will remain idle, okay? So here the CPU is idle for most of the time whenever the process is going to the input output device. The OS cannot schedule some another process. OS cannot select or cannot fetch any other process from this main memory when this CPU is idle, because there is only one process which is present inside your main memory. So as you know, after some time we came to a new type of operating system which is multi-programmed operating system. In this new type of multi-programming operating system, this gives us a facility that there can be multiple processes at a time reside into your main memory, okay? So we have P1, P2, and there can be many other processes, and these are the PCBs. Now we have only one CPU that we have to keep in mind. So we have, let's say, P1 and we have P2 inside our main memory. So now OS has to decide that which process it has to select so that it can be given to the CPU for the execution, okay? When there was only one process, there is no need of selection, but when there are many processes inside the main memory, OS has to select which process should be given the CPU for the first time, right? And then which process should be given the CPU in the next time, right? So here comes the problem of selection, okay? Which process to select, which process should be given the CPU first. So here comes the concept of the CPU scheduling, okay? So what does this scheduling word mean? So as you know, scheduling means you are providing some time to a particular activity. For example, you are saying, let's say you want to eat something, so let's say there is a particular time frame in which you want to eat. Then after some time you want to study, so there is a particular time frame in which you want to study. So there is a schedule for each and every activity of yours, right? The same way, which process should be given to the CPU for execution, okay? CPU for execution. So which process should be scheduled, which process should be given the time on this particular CPU for execution, that is meant by CPU scheduling. And let's say OS selects P1 and it start executing on the CPU, right? And after some time, let's say there is comes some out instruction, that is something like printf instruction in the CPU, and now we want the monitor, that is the output device. Okay, so when P1 is using this output device, that is the monitor, let's say, so in that particular time, OS can select the another process also, because that is actually present inside your main memory. Okay, so when P1 is here, that is P1 is not here, P2 can come on the CPU. So we are using the CPU also, and we are using the input device also. Okay, so CPU is not idle. Now I have already discussed in the previous video what is scheduler. Scheduler is the program inside the OS which actually selects the process from the ready queue which are going to be executed on the CPU. Okay, so this is the ready queue which consists of the generally PCBs. Okay, so although I have said ki these selection will be taken from this here, okay, but actually selection will be taken from the PCB. Okay, so yeah, for the time being we can just say okay, these processes are going to be selected, okay, just for the simplicity. So scheduler will select the processes. Okay, so let's say scheduler selects the P2. Okay, and there is another program called dispatcher which actually takes the process which is selected by the scheduler and it takes the process on the CPU for execution. So scheduler actually selects and dispatcher actually takes or dispatch that particular selected process on the CPU for execution. Okay, so actually after the selection of the process by the scheduler, dispatcher has a great responsibility, because let's say P1 program is executing here and P1 now goes for the IO. Okay, and now P2 has to be started. Okay, so this P2 has come to the CPU very fast. Okay, so that CPU does not become idle, right? So here comes another term called dispatch latency. So it is the time it takes for the dispatcher to stop one process and start the another process running on the CPU. That is, P1 has stopped running on the CPU. Now P2 has to be started. So the time it takes for the dispatcher for start execution that P2 on the CPU, it has to be very, very small. Okay, so that's why I have written dispatch latency should be minimum as much as possible. So I hope you have now understood what is CPU scheduling. So CPU scheduling or the short-term scheduling, these are one and the same thing. So it is actually the process of selecting or deciding which process will be executing on your CPU out of many processes which are present inside this ready queue. So you know, here we have the ready queue. Ready queue is present inside the main memory. Okay, so here let's say P1, P2, P3, and let's say many other processes, they are waiting inside this ready queue. So one process has to be selected by the scheduler. Okay, and that process will start running on the CPU. So that selection process is called CPU scheduling. Okay, and why we are saying this as the short-term scheduling? Because in the previous video, as I have told you, there are three different type of schedulers: long-term, short-term, and medium-term. So here short-term scheduler comes. Short-term scheduler is the actual scheduler which actually selects one of the process from these many processes from the ready queue. In the upcoming video, we will be discussing many different type of CPU scheduling algorithms which will help the short-term scheduler to select that which process should be selected from here. Okay, for that we have different type of CPU scheduling algorithm that we are going to see in the upcoming videos. Okay, so before ending the video, let me tell you one of the important terms, that is process scheduling. Okay, so scheduling means just providing the time for a particular activity, right? So process scheduling means giving the time for a process to be executed on some particular thing, right? Or providing some resources for a particular time. So inside this process scheduling, the CPU scheduling comes. So here you can see inside the process scheduling, we have the long-term scheduling, medium-term, short-term, and IO scheduling. So long-term scheduling means the long-term scheduler who works here. So long-term scheduler will decide which process should be taken from the new state, from the job pool in the new state to the ready queue. Okay, so this will be called as long-term scheduling. Now, medium-term scheduling is that which process should be selected from the waiting queue to be put on the suspend state, or from the suspend state, which process should be put on the waiting queue again. So here medium-term scheduler comes, as I have already told you in the previous video. Short-term scheduling, that I have just told you. Next is the IO scheduling. It means we have many resources, or you can say many IO devices like printer, hard disk, right? And when the process from the running state comes to access these devices, let's say we are accessing printer. So let's say we have many processes, let's say 4 processes who wants the printer. So which process should be selected out of these 4 processes to execute on the printer? That means which process should be given the access to the printer for the first time, then which process should be executed next on the printer, and so on. So this selection will be called as IO scheduling. For this selection also we have different type of algorithm like scan, C-scan, and other type of algorithm. So they will be discussed in the upcoming videos when we will be studying IO scheduling. Finally, we can say CPU scheduling is the basis of multi-programmed system, because in the multi-programmed system we have many processes which are present inside the main memory, and so we need the selection of the processes from this main memory, that which process should be given to the CPU first. Okay. So in the upcoming videos, we will be discussing what are the different categories and the types of CPU scheduling algorithms that we can use, and what are the different criteria to evaluate the performance of this type of algorithms. Okay. So let's see in the next video. If you have any queries, comments, suggestions, please write down into the comment box. Do not forget to like and share this video and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.